Hey everyone, this is Landon here with your Dark Pixel News Update. So today, Famitsu magazine in Japan just released their sales report for 2016. They put out a very interesting report. They compared it to previous year, 2015. And what we see here is that in 2016, the console video game business in Japan brought in about $2.58 billion, the 299 trillion yen. Versus 2015, where it was $2.77 billion or 320 trillion yen. Now, this is a pretty big drop here. Hardware sales accounted for about 90% of what they were in 2015, and software sales were about 95%, so not as steep of a drop there. It is a little bit concerning because it's continuing a longer trend that we've seen play out for quite some time now, in that the Japanese console market is obviously on its way out. We're looking at the top-selling software for 2016. We had in the number one spot Pokemon Sun and Moon with 3.2 million copies sold. Yokai Watch came in at second. Yokai Watch 3 Sushi Tempura with almost 1.4 million copies. And then in third place, Final Fantasy 15 with 860,000 copies sold. Now that's a huge drop-off from the 1 to the 2 to the 3. From about 3 to 10, it holds a little steadier than that. At fourth place, Super Mario Maker 3DS. Behind that, you have Dragon Quest Monsters Joker 3, Yokai Sangokushi, Yokai Sukiyaki, Kirby Planet Robot, Splatoon, and then the PlayStation Vita version of Minecraft. Now, what's interesting to note here is we're seeing, 3 level 5 games, 3 Nintendo games, 2 Square Enix games. There's just a couple of companies that tend to be dominating the console market right now, at least at the high end. So software sales accounted for 95% of what they were in 2015. Moving on to hardware sales at 90% of what they were in the previous year. The 3DS was again the best-selling console of 2016 with 1.8 million consoles pushed. PlayStation 4 right behind it with almost 1.8 million consoles pushed. Behind that, PlayStation Vita 865,000, Wii U 336,000, Xbox One at less than 9,000. So what can Japanese game developers do about this? I mean, we're seeing some pretty big drops across the board. It becomes obvious to me that the Nintendo Switch is a pretty good idea on Nintendo's behalf. They have to do something different. They have to change things up. Not just Nintendo, but I think Sony's going to have to change things up moving forward. I do expect to see a successor to the PlayStation Vita, since the handheld mobile gaming space is really where it's at right now for the Japanese gamers. So looking at more recent news, Dragon Quest XI was announced to be coming out on the PlayStation 4 and the Nintendo 3DS. And this makes a ton of sense given the install bases of both platforms. The 3DS has almost 22 million units sold in Japan in its lifetime, and the PlayStation 4 is under 4 million. And so when you look at that, you just can't ignore the 3DS in Japan. If you want to have massive sales, you need to go with the 3DS. Even more than that, you need to go with the 3DS and what looks to be like software marketed more towards a younger audience. As the number 1 and 2 spots were Pokemon and Yokai, and then the 4 spot Mario Maker, and then you get down Dragon Quest Monsters, and then Yokai, and then Kirby, and then Splatoon, and then Minecraft. The one game in there that is not marketed so much at a younger audience is the 3 spot with Final Fantasy 15. So it's going to be a tough year, I feel like, 2017. We'll see what the Nintendo Switch does, but I do feel like we're seeing a longer trend as Japanese gamers move towards their phones, gaming on mobile devices versus any type of dedicated console. It is interesting that in a country where so many people, participate in public transportation, that, you just have your phone on you all the time, and it's really easy to pop that out for just a little bit when you're on a subway or a train ride, and then just put it away. It's super socially accepted for anyone of any age to have their phone out, even if you're just playing a game. So we'll see. We might continue to see a divergence between the West and Japan on this point, but it's very obvious that games are going to have to be going with more of a global or multi-platform release to maintain profitability moving forward. What Final Fantasy 15 did, I expect to see Square Enix continue to repeat, where they take into account the overseas markets because they know that their domestic market is weakening. Anyways, we'll see what 2017 has in store for us. A lot of great games coming out, and we'll see how much the Japanese console gamers care to buy them. All right, this has been a Dark Pixel News Update. We'll see you guys again tomorrow for our live stream. See ya.